If you can't match this attitude, I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Well, Coach, the calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ready, 70, Indy. 2.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Well, he's going to take a shot right away, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
On the double.
53, Mike. Let's go, defense.
Ready.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Second and 10. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked him, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Swift. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. 2nd and 2. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for the Titans. 46 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Let's go.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Charlie.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
Not only was it a double move route, it was the dreaded post corner for any defensive back because you think that he's going all the way to the post in a deep route.
And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd down now. Swift, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Five.
They'll set up a throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
15 line. Yeah. You don't want none.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
It's just me.
2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
He'll
drop to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last. But fell incomplete.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check. Yeah.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Back to throw here. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
This winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. 23 yards, the final tally.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Titans.
Smooth. Watch the screen. Ready.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got Smith here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's caught, Smith. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st down, Swift. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. He tried to heave it from his own end zone, and the danger, it reared its ugly head.
We have seen those plays work out successfully before. You take the shot, try and gain some yardage. Sometimes you fool them. Not in this case, though. Tried to get it deep downfield. Gets it picked off.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Complete to number 88. No gain on the play.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Swift. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. He'll try to run this one in. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll run here with Mason. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Kick is indeed good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Go, go.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Forced to the ground and incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
High 7.
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively.
And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw complete to Chark. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Titans.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Looking to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the 1st half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
53, Mike 53. Hey, let go.
He'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 39.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You must be Pilot 64. Weak. He's checking credit. Hey, wahoo!
They'll drop the throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Josh Allen showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable. I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Derrick Henry able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
At the 13-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They're going to look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On 2nd down, Swift. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Here we go. 30 base. Watch 54. Crunch time, defense. 5.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run the counter. Swift, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 4. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down, Titans, gain of 12. Henry relishing the chance to be the Titans' lead dog. He's in the backfield again on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, Went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Got it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
10 Lobo. Right there.
He'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. He's back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, team 6. Team 6. One set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Pick me up. Here we go. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Gotta do better. Get it.
Back to throw. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. They'll look to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw here. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are headed to OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Ready up. 54. Mike 54. Watch the run. They're running it.
Now a first throw here in overtime. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
You ain't doing nothing today. Your team spell. Check the out read. 49. Check 49. Check 49.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Check tight. Check tight.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches.
You can't block me.
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Decision to be made on 4th and just a few inches in overtime. What do you do?
I know you've got to weigh it out as a head coach, because if you don't get it, you've turned it over in a great spot for the opposition to go down and win the game. But 4th and inches, I think what most teams do is they say, if we can't get inches, we don't deserve to win anyway.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a 1st down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. And watch the leg. Shoot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Hey, Alpha. Mike 54, Mike 54, Mike 54. Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, tighten down. There you go. Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Toward the pylon, caught. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Jags, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Titans, the calendar changed October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.